Hi there, this is Christine. I'm a demonstrator with Stampin' Up! And today I'm making a video to show you an alternate card for this month's Paper Pumpkin Kit, the Lots of Pun Kit, which is so much fun and lots of pun and all of that. So I made a slightly sadder card for my second card for our class. You can go back and watch the other video if you want to see another option that's a little happier. So for this one, I've got the cherry stems. They're sad. And I've made an easel card. It says, I'm sorry, that's the pits. So an easel card is just, it just folds up that way, like to be displayed, which is so much fun. So these are super easy to make. It's just a matter of figuring out the measurements, which I will also give you. And you can make one of these on your own. So I'm just going to set that aside and we'll make one. So my subscribers, my Paper Pumpkin subscribers will have received or will be receiving the materials to make this card on their own. But I have pre-cut and pre-scored everything. So we're going to start with the scoring. And I've written instructions down for myself because this one isn't one I make that often, but it's really fun. So I have cut an 11 by 8.5 sheet of Flirty Flamingo in half. So it is at 11 by 4.25. So I am moving my cutting blade out of the way, and we're going to score this at 2 3/4. And then at 5.5. So this is the front of our card. And then I'm moving it on and I'm measuring an inch on the other side of my cutting blade. We're cutting an inch off. So this is becoming 10 by 4.25. And this is just a scrap piece. And I've pre-cut everything else, so we're not going to use the cutting board again. So I am going to fold my card in half just to make it a lot easier to see what's the front and what's the inside. And I'm making that score line nice and crisp. All right, so the inside of our card is this. We're going to do that after. This is the front. So my subscribers will have received a piece of designer series paper that is cut at 2 5/8 by 4 1/8. This paper is from the Pattern Party, I believe, paper pack, and that is for hostesses or hosts, party hosts. It's a massive paper pack, like 48 12 by 12 sheets of double-sided paper. One side's black and white, and the other side is colored. Tons of different prints. It's absolutely gorgeous. I highly recommend you host a party just to get that paper. Then I've used my stitched rectangle dies, and I'm working with Early Espresso because that's the coordinating ink in this kit. And then we've got a really skinny piece of white that will get glued on that. We've got a piece of white that is 3.5 by 3 3/4, and that will go on the inside of our card. And then I used the layering circles dies to cut out a piece of Early Espresso and designer series paper. So let's do our stamping. We're going to use our cherries. You can use your ink spot, but I've got the full-size ink pad, and I just prefer to work with those, but that's all good. So we're going to stamp our cherries. You could stamp multiple cherries if you wish. I'm just going with one. And then the super fun part is putting little faces on things. Oh my gosh, okay. Seriously, I'm loving this kit way too much. So these are sad cherries because this is a get well soon or sympathy or something sad, a little pick-me-up card for someone who needs a little picking up. So we've made them sad. Poor little cherries. They look sad. Like, I feel sad for them. And then we want our sentiment, which is, I'm sorry, that's the pits. They've got a happy sentiment too to go with the cherries. That's really cute. And actually it would go with the banana as well. And it's the, oh, there's Your Cherry Sweet. And then there's I Pick You. That would be really cute with the cherries as well. So now I'm using the super skinny piece of white. And we're going to stamp, I'm sorry, that's the pits. So I'm not mooshing my stamp down, I'm just putting it on, counting a little bit in my head and taking it off. If you smush it down, you're going to distort the letters in your stamp, and it just won't look as pretty. So if you find that your letters are kind of distorted looking or like uneven, that's why you're pressing too hard on your stamp. So that's our stamping. So let's build our layers and then we'll assemble the card. So I'm sorry, that's the pits. I am putting that. I'm just going to use regular glue. If you don't have liquid glue, use some little glue dots that come with the kit, or whatever adhesive you like. We're not using dimensionals on this though. It's got to be flat. There are dimensionals involved, but that will be later. All right, so I'm sorry, that's the pits, goes over here. These two pieces just get put together as well. I'm going to use my liquid glue, but again, you could use whatever adhesive you like. If you're not mailing this card, you could use dimensionals for this as well. But because I like to leave my options open, I'm not going to use dimensionals because it will add double dimension, which then costs more in shipping. Okay. Now, super easy to assemble this card. We've got the front is scored at the midpoint. So this piece of designer series paper is going to go on the top. And it's going to fit perfectly with just a teeny little gap all the way around, or not margin, I guess. My gosh. We're gonna go with that. There we go. So you'll have an 1/8 of an inch pretty much all the way around. Now you're gonna be folding this piece in half. Don't need to score it. I mean to use your, just folding it's fine. My gosh. Words are escaping. All right, so we're gonna put our cherries down on here, and you can see that, well, you can put it all at the bottom, but it's gonna look nicer if you leave a gap of about a 1/2 inch at the bottom, which means that there's about a 1/2 inch sticking up top here. So you don't want to put glue on that piece, or it won't stick up when you fold it, like this one, or it's gonna cause problems. So you're gonna put glue, but only on kind of the bottom 3/4 of it. So I always double check before I start gluing to make sure that I'm leaving the gap in the right spot. And that's fairly centered-ish. Then we're going to open our card. We're going to put glue on the back of the white piece. That gets centered this way. So it's slightly wider than it is long. I think of this like as a Polaroid picture kind of look, if you remember the old Polaroid pictures. And then we're going to put dimensionals on the back of this. Now we are going to cut the dimensionals in half because I don't want the dimensional to be right against the edge. I just want to cover the center. So I'm cutting 2 of these guys right in half with my snips. They cut super well. And I'll show you what I'm going to do here. So I'm going to alternate the direction. And then I'm going to start at the other edge. This way. And one in the middle. And then we'll peel off. So I've kind of got a fairly even gap top and bottom there, but it's mainly so that there's room to tuck that top piece in to form your easel. So I didn't want to have dimensionals all the way up to the edge. And the easiest way to put this down is align it up without your dimensionals touching with kind of the side edge of your paper. Line it up to where you're happy, and then gently rock it back. There we go. And now it's stuck down nice and straight. Lots of room to write your message. And your easel. Isn't that cute? So you can add bling to this if you like, bows, pantousles, whatever you like. But I just really think it's a fun little pick-me-up kind of card using this kit. So please let me know if you have any questions. Subscribe to my channel to see my next videos, and have a wonderful day. Thank you.